Well, am I
And
going to ever get you on Rumble Studio?
we will eventually. Suraj showed it to me, and I need to do it. I need to use it.
It's pretty cool.
Um,
Yeah,
I will use it. I'm just yeah, I probably should do it. On
you
Tuesday,
should.
April 2nd, 2024, at 1:09 p.m. Eastern Time with Miss Vivian Minard, and I just told her I went to the bathroom like a minute beforehand, and you can see like two spots on my shin. It looks like I was bit by a vampire. I had a pimple, and I just popped and it started bleeding. I was like, "What the fuck?" Because pimples don't bleed, and I was like, What is this?" And it kept going. I was like, "Oh, like dark red," and I was like, "Oh God!" I started like toilet papering it, and I was
He's like,
texting Vivian.
I gotta go to the hospital.
I'll be right there. I'll be right there. And so if you guys are interested about the professional behind the scenes, that's what it is it's popping a pimple and then bleeding out frenetically in your bathroom. Well, you realize you should have been in the Zoom room 2 minutes ago. But so for anyone that doesn't know, Vivian is you're the one that got me to start my locals and to build it. And right now, I think
Yeah.
it's the biggest form of revenue for the show. And anyone that watched the show knows that that is an eternal theme of my angst and anxieties about the show is it making money. So in many ways, you have been probably the biggest, I don't know, facilitator to the show becoming moving from just this is the most fun ever to like how do I actually make this also a viable business because I live in a world where we use money. It's just what it
Yeah,
is. And but
absolutely.
yeah, Vivian, introduce yourself, and I'm gonna post a live link to all the
Sure.
platforms I'm on. But yeah, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Vivian. I work for Locals and Rumble, specifically more on the local side. So I am the in-house expert on all things locals and how to monetize your content and just make some more money.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I think I remember you saying early on, when you would meet, and everyone knows Matt. Um, you just kind of tell
Love
me like,
Matt.
yeah, no, we all love Matt. Matt's become more of like a celebrity in my game stream than I am. Matt comes in, they're like Matty, and I'm like, it's Tommy's podcast, you motherfuckers. Like, then Matt just slides in. But yeah, I remember early on you just saying like, no, like people do, they do actually want to see behind the scenes, and I just remember thinking like, I don't think they do, and but yeah, no, the locals makes more money than really anything else I do combined, and I think as I told you early on, my hang up is I don't ever put episodes behind a paywall because
Hmm.
I just feel like the bigger the audience, the better. Plus, it gets weird if you have a guest and you put them behind a paywall and they're like, "Hey, where's my cut?" And then it just gets awkward and stinky. But
Right.
no, that does seem to be a thing, and it does seem to be a way to, I guess, sidestep censorship primarily. Because right,
Right. And people like to see, remember like on DVDs where you get like behind the scenes content and bonus features and all of that. That's like your locals community. It's the edited cuts that don't make it into the full film. People do really, really love that content and want to see like how do you have your studio set up? What's Tommy's view, behind the scenes and get to know you on a more like intimate one-on-one experience.
hmm. And then it was you and Siraj who got me to start putting the game stream up, which I think the game stream now makes like 2 or 3 times as many views as the podcast, which is
Really?
yeah, no, straight up. Like,
That's awesome.
no, it started as like a side thing, and it's now like the primary like workhorse in terms of views and subscribers. But y'all also got so I'm just curious. So to look at it from your like point of view, and you see
Hmm.
me bumbling around like an idiot, and I come talk to you guys. I'm like, how do I make money? How do I build this thing up? And y'all just kind of cut through it. What is that based on? Is that based on like a hunch? Is that based on I mean, is it as simple as like you have a flow chart and it's like if the content creator says this, you do that, or is it based on like what you've seen before, where it's like, hey, you're in the right direction, you've got the right raw material, but you're not going about it
Do
the
you
right
mean
way.
do you mean like the type of content that I look for? Like, I guess I would call it like seeking potential of a creator on locals.
How do
Is that
you
kind of where you're going?
that and like like doing the podcast and you guys were like you should
Yeah.
put up the game stream and I was like I don't know if people want to watch me do that and more people are there than anything else because I interact with them. It's much more relaxed. People come into Discord and it kind of turns. The best way I can describe it is it's like the game stream's like a digital pub. People like wander
Yeah.
in, have a drink, put like $1 in my jar, and leave. And I'm just curious, is that something that you guys have seen before based on past things, or is it more of
Well, it
just like
depends on the
switch it up?
creator. Yeah, it's like the creator. So I think when you and I first started talking, it was kind of like the first thing I do is get to know the creator. Like, what are you passionate about with your show and also outside of your show? And for you, is gaming was something that you did bring up initially, and you're like,
Hmm.
this is something I like to do for fun and potentially something I, could live stream on my channel. And so I think that was just something that we just tried and it worked well for you. It's like taking a gamble and seeing, does this work? Okay, it doesn't work. And we look at the numbers and we kind of go back to the drawing board and try something else out. But I think if you're the creator who's passionate about what you're doing and it's more of a low key, like low stress kind of thing, and you can really be your authentic self, people are really going to vibe with that. And I think that that's what we've seen with your gaming streams. They can really get like that intimate Tommy experience,
For better
and
or
then they
worse.
also get your very serious, really cool interviews that you do, you know?
Have you ever watched Siraj's show?
A little, yeah. I mean, I work with Siraj, so
Yeah, I
it's like
know. Yeah,
watching his show every time I talk to
yeah.
him.
I went on his show a couple weeks ago. That was
Yeah,
that was so fucking fun. That was like in the
he's a
beginning.
hoot.
He and Jay are fucking hilarious. At the beginning, they made me take like a jihad oath or something. Like take my shirt off or some shit. Like do you swear to kill the great Satan? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Um, but that's kind of the other thing, and not for it to be like a circle jerk for Rumble and locals, but like when I tell people to move towards it, is that it does feel like early YouTube days, where
Yeah,
it's like the perfect mixture of like no, there's potential to grow, and then it's also the sort of the Wild West nature of it, right?
right.
It's kind of the reason why there's like a massive exodus from other platforms. How much of it, and I don't care what the answer is because like right now, like my show is slowly but surely succeeding and it's making money, so I don't care why or how, or I don't care. It's going in the right direction. Cool. I don't want
Mhm.
to peek under the hood. I don't care. But from your point of view, how much of this is kind of getting in on the ground floor, and how much of it is just filling filling the void, or at least filling the service that YouTube used to fill, where it was just you can go upload and just go do anything versus now
I think a
it's
majority of it is filling the void of YouTube.
yeah.
More and more original creators who are on YouTube are leaving YouTube. More and more creators who are on Twitch are leaving Twitch. And the biggest thing that I think, kind of think about here at Rumble and Locals is that we're not just a video platform or a monetization platform, but we're a tech company. We're always trying to build technology for specifically, keeping creators independent so you can own your content. A great example is like Candace Owens, who just, left the Daily Wire and is now on Rumble and Locals. And people are asking, like, is she going to bring in her old content from the Daily Wire? And really, like, what she's doing now is building out Candace Owens and the Owens platform, whereas the Daily Wire, anything she puts out behind that, it's not owned by her. So it's
Mm.
really like people who have that void of no longer being able to post on other platforms, and also the void of, do I own the content that I'm putting all of this work into? Because if you're on YouTube and you're even putting content there, do you really own your content?
Mm. Yeah. And it
Because they can take it away from you. They can ban your channel. They can take all of that work away. And I hear that every single day.
what do you, in this just more I guess wild speculation in terms of YouTube, like I always point to things like people in charge, you know, they can be evil, but they're not stupid. You know, be it
Mhm.
Joe Biden or President Trump or President Biden, President Trump, President Obama, whatever you want. It's like you don't have to like them, but they're not stupid. You don't get to the White House or the Secretary of Defense by being an idiot, right? Jeff
Right,
Bezos is a dummy. No, he's not. Maybe he's evil.
right,
He's worth $250 billion. Shut the fuck up. He's not stupid. If he's stupid, then what are you and
right.
I? YouTube, they have to know just basic social common sense as well as numerically. They have to know that they're hemorrhaging people. Is it?
Mhm. they're also the leader, so they're not worried about it. Like
Yeah,
people
they're
still will
just so
always
big.
default to YouTube. Yep, they're so big, it
It's
doesn't really
just
matter. And then there's the integration with Google, and Google is the primary dominant,
yeah,
source of everything.
everything.
It's like
Yeah,
all hail Google.
yeah. It is like that's what I was gonna ask. Is it are they? It's either are they so big and still getting bigger? It's like yeah, we're losing whatever political content on the right, but we're gaining 10 million new people a day in India or something that they don't care, or is it even that no, they are not gaining more people, but they're so big. It it's like
They're so
Walmart.
big and they have the best algorithms. Like I will always tell a creator, like if you are not being banned on YouTube, I'm not going to tell you to close your YouTube channel. Like
Yeah,
keep your YouTube channel and use YouTube as a play. Like use their algorithms, use them for the promotion that they can give you, play to their rules, right? Like if you're not allowed to say these things, obviously don't say them there, but use Rumble, use locals as a place where you can say those things. So a great example is like Russell Brand. He does his show on YouTube and Rumble and locals. He streams it to all three places and he does what he can on YouTube. And then he goes, all right, we've now hit the part of the show where YouTube's not going to like us. So if you want to keep watching, go to Rumble.
uh,
He does his Rumble show and he talks about everything he cannot talk about on YouTube. It's like an uncut version. And he still puts out like the cut version on YouTube. And then he does his private like Q&A with his locals members where they can really ask him the intimate questions at the smaller audience. He can really engage with them one-on-one.
mm, yeah,
So it's like playing into still getting the reach on, X and YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else, but also like playing the game a little bit with them
yeah.
and using them to boost you up and then, say what you can and use Rumble for ownership and freedom of speech and all the other wonderful things we offer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's regardless of YouTube's growing or just staying the same, the reality is there's such a monolith that
Yeah.
like Walmart could enact the shittiest rules ever. It would still take at the minimum like a decade for it to fall
What they want
behind
to do a
Target.
subscription now to do self checkout. Like you have to pay.
Really?
I don't know if this is true or not. I've just
But
like
if
heard
they do
things.
that, it'll still take them 15
I don't
years
know if it's
to
Walmart, Target. Yeah,
the
but yeah,
point is they're so big. What's the next nearest thing? Target or I guess Sam's Club's owned by Walmart, so Costco. It's gonna take a
yep.
decade minimum, maybe two, for it to like slide down. And it might be you might talk to the board of directors, off air, no microphones around. They might be like, "Yeah, we know we're cannibalizing this thing, but we're
Yep.
running to the bank, and what do I give a shit? By the time this thing tanks, I'm gonna retire." It might be something like that, which it's like, yeah, get what you can while you, which isn't good, but it explains it more because they're again YouTube, they're not stupid, and I know
And
one.
people love convenience. That's
I
the other thing.
I still have. I guess I'm a total cuck. I still have a YouTube Premium account. I've been banned from YouTube. I still.
Yeah.
It's great. I listen.
How? Why do you still have that?
I because I download old like Cold War documentaries and I listen to those when I fall
Yeah.
asleep. They're downloaded. And I like to turn my phone on airplane mode so no one can call me when I'm sleeping. And if it's all downloaded there, it's in the app. It's right there. I'm used to it. I have my
It's
old playlist.
convenient.
It's convenient. And listen, man, there's a lot to be said for to the whole Russell Brand thing.
Hmm.
Man, I wish I'd had a little more. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I wish I had been a little more smoother. I think 3 years ago, I was like, fuck them. Like, they can kick me off. Now I'm like, God, I wish I still had a YouTube just to drive people to Rumble. Like, I think I went too hard headed and was like, no,
And
fuck
that
you.
happens.
Yeah, I wish I
Well,
still
and
had that in an X account.
you could use your guests to an advantage too. If they have YouTube channels or
Oh, I
social
do.
media
Yeah, I
that they
do.
can help promote, those kinds of things are going to be really helpful as well. But yeah, it's just things that you don't think about. You're like, I'm going to stick it to YouTube, but really YouTube is kind of sticking it to you,
Absolutely.
unfortunately,
1,000%. There's not even
just
a,
because they are the market lead and, like Rumble, like we are really fighting them hard. but still, like they're the convenient ones that people are going to. So like the biggest thing I can do is teach creators like how to use YouTube to your advantage to
Yeah.
grow and scale on Rumble and even locals. And
Yeah.
I like to compare locals to Patreon and
Mm-hmm.
Facebook private groups. Like if they had a baby, it'd kind of be locals, but
Yeah.
like a hybrid
Yeah.
super baby.
Super baby. What's the Pineapple Express? If Blue Oyster Kush and Sour Diesel fucked and they had a baby, and then these two, and by some miracle those babies fucked. But yeah, no, it's yeah. I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I still had the YouTube account. I wish I still had the Twitter account, and at the very least, just funneled people to. And that's, I mean, that's 1,000%. That's like my own character flaw. Like too
Right.
proud, too hard headed, too I don't need them. The reality is I could have played it a lot smarter and been like, yeah, hey guys, this show with Dr. Malone's on locals, can't be on YouTube. Which then, how long until YouTube starts cutting off channels because they're like you promote misinformation elsewhere? Do you think that's in the
Right.
pipeline?
I don't know, honestly. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, I see all the time with creators even being like banned, shadow banned on Facebook from sharing like a link from locals directly.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
You know
I don't know.
you can't share Rumble links on Reddit. Do you know
I
that?
didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't share
No,
Rumble
I did not
links.
know that.
Yeah.
Does it work with like if you take a bit.ly link? Like if you
No.
put it into a reformed link, it
No,
still doesn't work?
you got to. What people will do is they'll put the link, and then in the middle of it, they'll just say like, you know, testicles, and they'll be like, just remove testicles from the link, and
That's
it's
hilarious.
yeah, no, but that's
These workarounds are so
no,
funny.
they're great. They're like remove ass fucking, but yeah. So in terms of like, and then like and obviously you work there, so you don't have to answer candidly. Is is it are these natural unavoidable cycles of startup, push out the old, breathe in new life. You attract people, you swell in size, you grow, become a monolith, and then become the thing you swore to not be. Like, does Rumble eventually become YouTube? And in 20 years, we go, yeah, you can't say it on Rumble. You got to go to whatever,
I don't think so.
sasquatch.org.
I think that's really what we're fighting against. Like I said, like we're really trying to like focus on not just being a social media company, and I think that that's what sets us apart from YouTube and X and Facebook is that we really are like we are a software company, we're a tech company. Like we are trying to build tech to keep people, free and independent, and like we live and breathe the model that
Yeah.
we put out. Like everybody who works with the company really, really embodies that.
Can you explain that more? Because obviously you said it earlier, but like above being a video platform where now I'm a Neanderthal and I always just think of Rumble and Locals as that's the video platform where I do my stuff. You're saying it's a what do
Right.
you mean by that?
Well, we
It's
just
a tech
launched
company.
like Rumble Cloud, which is our own cloud software, which will be huge. We'll be able to support our own separate companies through Rumble Cloud. Our internal servers all completely run on our own independent software servers. So it's not even, we're not in bed with AWS, we're not in bed with these other companies and kind of playing to their rules to be able to be hosted on their servers. Like we are building out our own software to be able to stay independent and make our own rules in that sense.
Hmm.
So Rumble Cloud is a good start. Rumble Studio building out technology for creators to be able to live stream and not worry about using other tools and being blocked from those other tools. Like if we can build out things that you guys can use, that's always what we're going to do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Is there, are there? I don't know what the correct preposition. Is there safety in numbers like Rumble, Locals, and it's growing leaps and bounds, not just with political content, but gaming and DIY and whatever, music and pop culture? Because there's got to be legitimate, right? It's going against the status quo, right?
Right.
It's no,
Well, we don't really brand as, sorry, we don't really brand as like a political company. We just happen to be somebody that those people needed.
By virtue
And
of the fact
they
that
found
y'all,
us.
no,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be
In
political. It
numbers.
shouldn't be political.
Yeah.
But by virtue of the fact that y'all don't censor, it's a crazy thing to say, but because you don't censor, it is by default you're political.
It's a home for those people that, yeah, by default, but it's not something we
It's
are like, yes,
sure.
we're right wing focused or left wing focused.
Yeah.
It's these are the most impacted people on the internet currently, and we're kind of the home base for them and anyone else who's facing censorship. I'm a huge avid like bullet journaler, and I follow a lot of bullet journalers on even Patreon, and they're being blocked on Patreon from posting content or being able to monetize their content. Like their money is completely being taken away from them, maybe because of something that this creator posted on Instagram. That's not even
What
relevant
the
to making stickers or bullet journaling at all. Like it's just maybe her political belief, or she made a statement about COVID, and Patreon's like, yep, just because of who you are as an entity online, we don't agree with that. So we're going to keep your money from you. And
madness?
it's somebody like that. They're like literally no political. She's making puppy stickers and kitty stickers and like monthly headers and things,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that
It's
is
super interesting.
it is insane. It really is insane that yeah, and it's inherently political by simply not but that's the other thing is like it will never stop. Like
Right.
it starts with COVID, right? There's always going to be a sparking point. It's arbitrary. And it eventually
Hmm.
spreads. Like there's a reason why you see gamers on Rumble now. Like why in God's name? It's like they got censored for saying some no word. And
Right.
it to a degree it's almost like South Park when they do where Mr. Garrison is Donald Trump and they're like, "Who radicalized you?" And he goes, "Or who made you?" And he goes, "You made me." He's like, "No one."
Hmm.
He's like, "I didn't want to do this, but you drove people so far off the edge with like correctness that it was a matter of time before I took power." And it kind of is that like you guys almost don't need to entice people to your platform. Like you're gonna get
Yeah.
kicked off of
People find
something.
us.
You're gonna get kicked off of something
Hmm.
else, and just show up here. And
Yep.
it's a beautiful thing for Rumble and locals, but
And it's hard because a lot of people are trying to build out their own website or their own subscription service, and they realize that it is a lot more challenging than what maybe they initially think. So I have calls all the time where creators come in, they're like, yeah, I try to build out my own website, my own subscription, and the maintenance for that is just impossible for a small team to do. And they somehow stumble across locals or stumble across Rumble.
and then there's the long term nature of it,
Hmm.
where it's even if you're not getting censored today or banned today, you have to look at the pattern and go, in 2 years, I could see myself being shadow banned or something as the noose gets tighter. And then you go, like for someone like me who was exclusively on YouTube for 18 months, well, now every post you've made on Reddit or a comment or a group chat or somewhere, those hyperlinks are all
Something
now.
you liked on Instagram,
But
something you commented on,
but what I mean is like
doesn't matter.
if you're growing your channel, every hyperlink you've ever dropped in any conversation ever, you want those to always go back to your show. If you get
Oh,
banned
yeah.
and you have to go,
Yep.
if 2 years from now I'm going to be banned, then it's building a sandcastle while the tide's rising. You're like, why are we putting time into this now? The tide is
Right.
rising. It's gonna destroy it. We could be, we could save time, just cut our losses and go up onto higher land and build it. And that's like another thing I don't think people think about. It's like, well, I'm not banned yet, and if I do, I'll just move on. It's like, no, man, like those hyperlinks are all streams that come back to the pond that is your content. Those are all going to be killed. So
Right.
you have to be concerned about what you're doing in April 2024 because you go, if in April 2026 I'm banned, it's all for naught. And that's like where I was. Is I started again on Rumble with I think 100 subscribers and I was like, god damn it.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing I look for is if I hear a creator has a strike on YouTube, I'm immediately like, hey,
Mm,
do you have a plan? Do you have a newsletter? Like, are you collecting emails? Are you like
mm.
preparing for like what if? It's always like the what if, and I think that that's kind of like the culture that we're in currently is like worrying about what if this happens and what if that happens. And it's so normal to be prepared for like an apocalypse, but it's
Mm.
also like if this is your income and this is how you're financing your day-to-day life, like why not, prepare and just a big pitch that I tell creators to give their audiences, hey, like you can at least join my locals community for free. And then if something does happen, God forbid, you know where to find me. Like this is our safe place that you can always go to. I can give you updates if something does happen. If I get another strike, if I do get banned, we have this community. I can keep you in the loop. I can like contact all of you. And then I own all my content. So if I decide like, hey, locals isn't where I want to be, they can already collect that full mailing list and take that and send it out through MailChimp or whatever else they want to use.
It's so creepy. What a weird. Even 5 years ago, this would seem like dystopian.
I know.
That
I
is,
know.
it is weird.
Yeah.
Go back to bullet journalism. What is that?
Bullet journal.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of bullet
Never even. I've
journaling
never
or
heard
the
the
bullet journal
phrase.
method? Oh wow. Okay, so it's kind
School
of a
me.
way. I mean, I have mine right here in front of me. Right there.
Oh,
So it's a way that you can like take notes, you can plan, you can organize in a really like concise method. You can do it like really minimalistic if you want. So it's like creating a key and then like an index at the beginning of your notebook. So you can always kind of flip and create. And if you really dive into the bullet journal community, like some of these girls get really crazy with designing stickers and templates. And it's all planning. It's like having my planner, scheduling out my week, what's my to-do list, and also like it's really helpful through college, like note keeping, keeping track of everything you're doing. You can kind of use like a little, it starts with like bullet points, like this is my index, this bullet point means, this is a task. If it's a circle, it means this is an event. And I can do different symbols, I guess, to help me like understand it at like a very minimal glance. That's like the most simple version. And then it gets more complicated from there.
no, I so like I have a daily I have a daily to-do list every day for
Hmm.
5+ years, and I have a list of like 20 things. Red dot means they're not done. Green dot means they're finished. Some of it's
Yeah, so similar.
yeah, some of it's the easiest shit. It's a make a locals video. It's a like do dishes, post a podcast, listen to an hour of an audiobook. Is the thumbnail ready for tomorrow? Send out the Zoom invite for tomorrow. Just little things like that, and then other shit I kind of put up near the top where it's like it doesn't need to happen today, but it's just like loose, schedule this person in the next month or whatever. And I don't, those
Yeah.
aren't, I have to do the red ones every day. The other ones is just like
Yep.
if I have an extra hour of guest cancels and I've got, or I'm at the, barber and I'm just waiting, go through those. Is that what bullet? I'm just curious, is like
Pretty
what the
much.
meta
Yeah.
is, just kind of shortcuts.
So, yeah, so I set it up like I have my year at a glance so I can see my entire year
Mm,
over just a course of a couple pages and I number 1 through 31 and I give it a day of the week. And so I can see like quickly in a list order, like what events do I have, what holidays are coming up. You can do like future logs, you can do all kinds of things. It's really like creating an organization system for yourself on paper. Like you can take a blank notebook and do anything you want with it. And if something's not working, you can change it at any point. I really like the idea of like brain dumping, where you can just kind of like fill a whole page with everything that's in your brain that's just kind of cluttering it up.
yeah.
And then it's written down, and
And
you
then you
can
can
take
clear
that and
it.
organize it. Yeah, and clear it out of your brain. So it's kind of like a mental health, but
Yeah.
also planning, organizing. You can just use it for journal entries and writing that out. And you can keep like, I love the index system because you just write like, okay, today, April 2nd, notes from Tommy's podcast and write down the page number. So you can just find that page number at any point.
So that's the 30,000 foot view ultimately is like mental. I know for me it's mental clarity. It's I took out all popped it in my head, put it down on the list. Once it's there, it's like one less thing I have to juggle. Because if I don't write it down, it's
Yeah.
always like don't forget it, don't forget it, you're gonna forget it. Versus like when I write it all down, it's kind of clear out. It's like selecting all and deleting. It's just all right. My head's clear. And same
Yep.
thing with the daily to do list is sometimes I'll be so like stressed out. I'll look. I'll be like, wow, I got so much shit to do. I got it. And I'll look down. I'll be like, no, the entire list is green. You did everything. I'll like double
Hmm.
glance at it. And I'll be like, no, but I have, no, you made your thumb. You sent out the Zoom invite. You did the, and I'm like, oh, I'm good. And I'll instantly kind of relax a little bit. So that's what it is then. It's a way to,
It is a mind relief. Yeah.
mm. Now, do you think
Yeah.
it's for everyone, or do you think, like me, you're just OCD? Because
I
I'm
think,
clinically OCD. Like, I had to like go to
I don't,
therapy for a while.
yeah, I don't know. I think that it's helpful if you have a busy mind, but I remember I started bullet journaling and then I stopped because it was like too overwhelming. I made it too complicated.
Okay.
So then I took a break from it and then came back to it. Actually, a good friend of mine was like, you would be really into this. Like, you like to organize, you like to plan, you like to just know what's going on in your life. She's like, you should really implement this and just make it super, super simple. I think that that's my biggest tip when starting out. If you're interested, is keep it simple, keep it minimalistic if that works for you. And like, just do what works for you. If it's too complicated, you don't have to do it that way. It's whatever you want it to be, basically. Like, you don't have to hold yourself accountable to, oh, I started this habit tracker and I
Uh,
didn't keep up with it. Like, give yourself that grace. That's just the time of life that you were going through. Maybe this season where you weren't able to keep up with your habits, and maybe next month you can. And I
mm,
remember I did a whole year where I tried to track like my sleep and all of these things, and it was exhausting. It
yeah,
was exhausting.
yeah,
And I'm like, why am I doing this? For what? Like,
yeah,
it'd be cool to look back on, I guess, but really in realistic, like reality, I guess, how often am I going back and looking at it? I'm not. So it's not helpful for me as an individual, but for some other people, it
yeah.
might be something that's interesting for you. So
When you got back into it, so you did it, you put it down because it was overwhelming. You got back
I
into it.
started back into it in 2020. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Hmm.
how do you keep it in check? How does it? It's like my own OCD tendencies. Like I'll drop things and bring them up again, and I'll be like, all right, no, it is useful. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. But it's also like I'll feel it turning into a monster, and I'll be like, no, 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 you fuck right off. We're gonna. This is for mental clarity. Don't let it take over
Right.
everything because it will.
Yeah.
How
I
do you
think for
keep it at
me,
bay?
like, every year it's different. Every year, every month it's different. It's always changing. Maybe every week it's different. So this year I actually prepped my entire journal at the end of the year, end of last year. So I was going into like some surgeries and some health things. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this. And I really, really want to get this set up now so that I can keep track of like how I'm healing and other things like that. So I really wanted to prep it. So I prepped my entire year and did my little calendar and put in all my holidays and like what events do I know that are coming up. And then I left the rest of it blank so that I could kind of decide what I want to do from there. I do have a section where I have like at the very back of my journal here, like my quarterly goals and
Mm-hmm.
locals, private stuff I'm not sharing.
Sure.
But yeah, so that whole back section is so that I can just plan for work and just keep like my to-do lists and keep my goals. What do I need to do this month? So at the start of every month, I think it helps that my boss does sit down with me and she goes, okay, these are your goals for the month. Like, let's come up with some numbers on that so I can plan. Like, this is kind of the time of the month right now where I'm planning out what are
Mm-hmm.
my goals for the month. And then every morning I take 15 minutes and I just go, okay, what do I need to do today? What did I not get done yesterday? And I just go through like a quick little list and I just refresh it. Sometimes I use the same list and it just grows and grows and grows, and that's overwhelming. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's reorganize this
Yeah.
list and like reprioritize things. So I flip to a new page. I still keep that one in mind, and reference it, but just kind of go back and forth and just change it, as I need. Like, if I'm getting overwhelmed by it, something's not working. So maybe I need to
Yeah.
reorganize it.
Yeah.
And so I do give myself about 15 minutes a day. Sometimes it's longer.
Yeah.
But I always schedule that off so that I have the time to organize myself and I feel like I have a much more productive day. Maybe that doesn't work for everybody. Maybe it's at the end of the day, planning for your day tomorrow. Maybe it's just the start of the week. It's up to you. That's the beauty of bullet journaling, is it's like it can be really something that's helpful for you and you set those rules, those
Yeah.
parameters.
Yeah. No, I've been there. The daily to do list starts getting so long. You're like, what the fuck is all this shit? And then it's like a Jenga tower. You're like, just push it over. Just start a new one.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and then so do you ever just curious? Do you ever? So I always try to. I always try to be realistic about my like daily to do, and that
Mhm.
I find the best, most realistic way is I'll decide at the end of the day, like ending the game stream, going and getting in bed, that when I'm so tired, if I think I can do something then I know I can the next day. Because I'm like, if time,
Yep.
have you ever had the problem where like you wake up, you have like 2 cups of coffee, and you're like, let's do all this shit, and you write down everything, and then like an hour later, you're like, what the fuck is all this?
Where did all my motivation go?
Yeah, you're like, what is this? What? I'm not. I don't want to email them. I can't do this. And you're like, we'll just do it all today. Do you ever have that?
Yep. Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. And sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, I can really get that done in the morning. And then I get up and I'm like, why did I do this to
Yeah,
myself?
yeah.
Why did I do this to myself? But I also am one that really, really, really works well under pressure. So
Mm,
I think I do my best work when I'm like, okay, I really have to get
don't
this
have
done.
enough
And I
time
tend to like put myself in those situations. Yeah. I
intentionally.
would tend to take on more work. Yeah, just because I know that I'm
It's
like the busier I am, the more accountable I am.
oh, a thousand
If I
percent.
have too much time in the day,
I would just
yeah,
slow motion. I would walk around, sit down. Why don't I kind of wipe down the counter? Maybe should I do laundry? Versus when I wake up and I don't have enough time, I'm like, my thoughts are like, I wonder. I'm like, shut the
I
fuck.
gotta go, go,
I
go, go,
gotta,
go.
I gotta send this. I
And
gotta
my
go.
day goes so
It's
fast.
so much better too. It's and you don't
Yeah,
waste time. No, I purposely do that. I'll wake up and be like, I'm gonna go back to bed for an hour just so I wake up screwed. It really is. I put
yeah.
myself in that situation intentionally. Um,
Well, I don't think it's like procrastination either. It's just like making yourself busy. Like I feel like if I have too much time on my hands, that's when I get into trouble.
yeah, no, no, I don't. I like won't do anything, and I just end up wasting a day. Um,
Right.
in terms of
Somebody in the chat says my problem with journaling is I can't read my own handwriting.
well, that is a problem. That is a
That
major
is
problem.
well, you could do what Tommy does, like you could keep it in your notes app in your phone. I use Airtable actually a lot for like work things sometimes too. If I want better notes or tracking or linking things, you can do digital planners. You can do all kinds of things. I think the notes app is a very easy way to start, or using reminders on your phone if you have an iPhone. It's also helpful.
So when you said you follow bullet journalists,
Yeah.
go into
Yeah.
that. Go into that.
So there's like I mean, so back in 2020, there was so much drama in the bullet journaling community. Holy cow, let me
Tell,
tell
tell,
you.
tell me.
So I don't want to give names. I
No,
don't want to get in
don't. You don't have
trouble.
to give names. No, this is. I
But
didn't
yeah,
know
so there
this
was,
community existed, let
so
alone
you
that
could
there's drama.
subscribe on Patreon. That's how I kind of got into it is you could subscribe at like a $5 tier. And then you could get access to these girls designing bullet journal stickers, and you could give feedback to them on what kind of stickers you would want. And then if you subscribed at a higher tier, you could get like a packet of their stickers for your subscription. And then you'd have your whole month for the
Mm,
next month, basically, of all these stickers that you could do. They would give you ideas on how you could really make your journal or planner really super cute. Like we're talking extreme bullet journalers. I don't even know if it counts as bullet journaling at that point. It's more like sticker planning.
all right.
But yeah, there was a woman who I subscribed to for quite some time, and she charged like $50 a month
Yeah.
to get access to all of her live streams, her sticker planning, her full sticker kit where you get the entire month, and also like her exclusive Patreon member sticker pages or whatever. And there were like 6 months where she didn't send out any stickers to anyone. And she was so
Bitch.
far behind and she kept taking everybody's money and was not delivering. Like eventually she would deliver. I
Yeah.
did get everything that I paid for like a year and a half later. Like it took a long time. She was making like 8 grand a month probably on sticker sales and just Patreon, not even counting her shop as well. And then with that, you could get access to her private Facebook group where you could chit chat with all these other bullet journalers and the drama in there. Like, I remember once I spoke up and was like, I mean, is anybody like upset? Like, I'm paying for all of these things and she hasn't delivered on anything. And this is part of like the agreement. And people like ate me alive.
Leave her
They're
alone.
like, leave her alone.
Oh, that's awesome. There's
It
dry.
was crazy. It was crazy. So I ended up leaving eventually because it was just like they were ferocious and they turned against me just because I was like, hey, like, are we eventually going to get this? Like, I just want to know, like, if I'm being scammed or not at this point, like you're just taking my money and making all these fake promises. Like, at that point, I just didn't know if I was going to receive anything. And then like I said, I did, but it was a little sketchy to be honest. And people would like had no problem. They're like, that's the point of Patreon is you just give them the money just to like support them. I was
No,
like,
it's
that's not
not.
why I signed up.
No, it's
I
not.
signed up because they made promises and they, like said this is part of what you get with this subscription. And she didn't deliver on that, which was very interesting. And then there were other groups that I was a part of that like were at a much smaller scale and I've actually made really good friends in some of those communities and like talk to them every single
That's
day
awesome.
about like stickers. And now I actually like learned how to design my own stickers or do like digital prints from other creators and print and cut my own stickers from their designs or make my own or
Are there like
whatever. So,
are there like bullet journalists like purists that were like, no, Vivian's right,
oh
like fuck this
yes.
lady. Like, no, we're about like the core of bullet journalism is this. Like this is
Those
a
are the people
grift.
I'm still friends
Hell
with.
yeah. Hell yeah. Those are the
The
fundamentalists.
purists.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. I love that I didn't know this existed 30 minutes ago and like
Yeah.
now I'm
You're
learning about
welcome.
these like warring factions. Like this kind of made my day. I like this.
Yeah.
There's
Well, and the other girl that I really liked, her name is Erin, and she has like a smaller group, but she had issues with Patreon because of other things she had posted that weren't political by any means on like I'm pretty sure it was Instagram, and Patreon found out because one of those little stinky Patreon members reported
these
her
little
and they
Gestapo
blocked her.
members.
Yeah, they
Little
blocked her from her income. And so she was like, okay, well, I'm building out my own website. And she started her own subscription. And
There's really
um,
nothing new under the sun.
no,
You can just
it's
shit.
across the board. Like I said, if this is like a small category in the grand scheme of things, that this is happening all the time,
That just
all the
makes me
time.
so happy though. It's makes me think of Ram Dass, the like spiritual guru. He died in I think 2019. He like kicked off the Harvard LSD experiments in the 60s. Was friends with Timothy Leary, but he talks about how you know the grand existence of it all and philosophy and God and blah blah blah. He's like, this old lady came up to me after one of my talks one time, and she goes, I know all about what you're talking about. And he goes, oh really? And she leans in. She goes, I crochet. And he goes, I never thought about it, but she implied that like by knitting you are privy to the secrets of the universe. And Varmouth goes, the game was bigger than I thought. He goes, even crocheting,
Hmm.
there's that just makes me happy that like it's like turning over a rock and seeing like a whole ecosystem of like little bugs and plants and shit. That just makes me happy
Right.
that like not only does bullet journalism exist, but there's factions and and like warring
And
groups and like purists like you've strayed from the path, like this is why we started this journey.
well, I think it's our culture as a whole, like cancel culture,
Well,
like people
yeah,
just look for a reason now that we're all online and we all have like some entitlement to know
yeah,
everything about everybody that they
yeah,
like, even if you don't know them on a personal level, it's like, well,
yeah,
I have this opinion about you because
yeah.
you said this one
I
time
found this Instagram post from 9 years
15
ago.
years ago, and maybe you've grown as a person, but I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I care about now that you said that and it's offending me currently.
I
And
look back,
that's
I look back at episodes I did 4 years ago, and I'm appalled. And I'm like, that's
there
me.
we
Like,
if you're telling me that you haven't done something in your life that you don't regret or that you said that you're like, oh God, I wish I did not say
then
that.
you're a
Like
psychopath.
guarantee everybody has done something like that. And
Yeah.
to have this like new mentality where people are just like holier than thou, it's really an interesting cultural shift.
If somebody if somebody appears perfect and that they've never made a mistake, the FBI needs to go into their basement because they've got bodies. They've got a refrigerator of bodies. Like there's something's wrong. Something's you should see someone to be like they're kind of fucked in this department, and that's cool because I'm
Right.
kind of fucked in this department. It's when they have flaws and you have flaws. Somebody is perfect and shining. No, they kill people.
Right. Well, and even if you think like, I don't know, this is kind of in a random topic, but like relationships, I think are something that like a lot of people put up on pedestals and they idolize like perfect couples in the media. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I'm a real big Housewives fan. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't know Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky and like all the drama I've been catching up on buying Beverly Hills, but they like really talk about their relationship and their marriage, and people were like really upset in the media and really taking it like personal because this was a 27-year marriage that then fell apart and people felt like they should be entitled to know, is he cheating, is she cheating, and it's like, why do we think that we deserve this knowledge? Like, that's their marriage. No marriage is perfect, every marriage is hard work, and nobody's perfect, and like, yes, it may look perfect from the outside, but you really never really know what's going on with a marriage, a person, like any individual, you know? So it's an interesting concept that we have where it's just like, oh, they're so perfect. And it's almost like we feel slighted when that
Yeah.
reality comes crumbling apart.
Yeah. The more perfect something's, yeah, I just look at it more and more. I'm like, oh, it's all dog shit. Like that's something's wrong, right? Like something's wrong.
Yeah. When I think it's also having the perception of nobody's perfect and like having acceptance and grace for people, like humanity as a whole.
Hmm. Well, it does. It's like if you look at someone posting like I don't know, like a picture on Christmas, and it's like everything looks perfect, versus like, if I go home and it's me and my brothers, my mom and dad, and like what if I get like too drunk or something, or like what if what if my brother says something and it's like there's like this underlying like imperfection, but that imperfection is perfection. I'm like, that's a real family.
Hmm.
That's a real family where
Hmm.
you haven't seen each other in 6 months. You come in, everyone's hugging. By the second day, it's like me and my little brother kind of going at it. And I'm like, that's real. That's reality.
Yeah,
If it was a Hallmark card, again, check the basement because there's bodies there. Like something's wrong. And
right.
yeah, I think in same like again like I said like I'll look back at old shows I've done and I'll be like, "What? Oh my god!" But then to me that means is that like I'm growing, right?
Exactly.
If I edited out every little thing, that's like it's eerie. It's like Stepford Wives shit.
Right. And then it also becomes like we will always be our biggest critics, right? Like you'll be
Sure.
your biggest critic, I'll always be mine. And then that's when it becomes like really self-destructive as well, I
Yeah.
think. You know, when you over criticize yourself because you're worried how's this going to be perceived, and you never know. Like in some people's stories, like I could be, this like horrible villain, and in your story, like, I helped you build your locals
Yeah.
community, and some people may not, agree with that, but at the end of the day, like I have to find peace in myself and know
Mm.
that I'm growing as a person, and that I try to like uplift people and treat people the way I would want to be treated, and hold true to that, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Mm. And I guess lastly, and obviously we can keep that private, but like you and I have talked about, loss in family. How much like I know for me, it definitely allows me to be me on a much more raw level because in my mind I'm like, if I'm not, as long as I'm not like physically or financially hurting anyone, I'm fine. You don't have to like me
Yeah.
or like what I say. You don't know, no one's forced to watch me. But in terms of like people be like, how do you get by like reading comments like that? I'm like, for me, it's just like losing my brother. It does kind of all come back to that is where I'm just like nothing's worse than that. So
Right.
I don't care. Do you do you even in something like bullet journalism? Do you find any I guess confidence in like this is bullet journalism. This isn't a funeral. This isn't.
Right. This is just something I'm doing for fun, for my
Yeah.
own mental health.
Yeah.
And, like, okay, lady, you didn't deliver on your time on like sticker delivery or whatever. Like at the end of the day, it's stickers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's stickers.
At the end of the day,
And I
it's
could make my own stickers.
yeah.
Like, damn, I could do that. So I
Yeah.
figured it out. Now
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're like, it's fucking stickers. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And furthermore, it's kind of funny. It's like not only is it sticker. What's the fuck? What's the movie with the I'm gonna butcher it. I'm at it.
What's
I
like,
can't.
what's the core? Like, what's the core of the reason that you're doing things, right? Like, you do this show because you love talking to people and engaging with people. Like, this is a huge strength of who you are.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter like what anybody else thinks. And like, I know I've coached you on your show and I've given you suggestions on how I think you can grow, but I'm never going to change who you are as a person. Like, you are Tommy. Your show thrives because of who you are as an individual.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does.
And I may not agree with things that you talk about on your
Sure.
show. I'm not saying I do or I don't. Like, part of my job is to uphold the mission of Rumble and Locals, right? Like, there's plenty of people that I've met where I'm like, wow, that was an interesting creator. Like, I
Yeah.
don't agree with anything they
Anything
just
that.
said,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter what I think, what my beliefs are. It matters that I'm providing a place for them to share their beliefs because they have
Mm.
every right to share who they are, talk about what they want to talk about. Like, that's a beautiful perk of our country.
Yeah. No, that is a level of
And
maturity.
it's absolutely a moral struggle sometimes of being like,
Sure.
oh,
Yeah.
but you have to take a step back and it's like, what is our mission? Like, would I want to be treated that same way?
Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've had guests where people are like, I can't believe you had them on, and I want to be like, I can't believe I did either. But part of me is like, they didn't break any laws. They didn't. Now I don't have to interview anyone, but in terms of like the moral aspect of it, I'm like, I just disagree with them. It's nothing more.
Yep.
Did they hurt you? No. Well, what is it about them? Well, they think different. I'm like, that's not a crime. That is not a crime.
Right.
And I can't point the finger at other people and be like, they censor, they're evil. If I turn around and go, well, I don't like what this. It's like, hey man, there's no better. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely a moral workout.
It is. And it's also like, I don't know, did you ever take debate in high school or anything like that? Like, where
No.
you could just like have conversations with people. And I think that that's something that's so lacking in our culture is like disagreeing on things, but still coming together and realizing like you can disagree on something and I can disagree on something, but it doesn't define necessarily like who we are as individuals. Like, we're all meant to have different beliefs. We're all different. Like, we all think differently. And it's important to be able to have like eye-opening conversations with each other and have disagreements and agree on things. And how else are we supposed to grow as a human race, you know?
Mm. And just always remember that it's just fucking stickers.
Just
It's just
stickers.
stickers.
What a topic pivot.
No, it's perfect. Then that is the meta. That it's just stickers, man. Oh, it's just
I just
stickers.
think it's an interesting topic to bring up. Like, when I talk to creators and I'm like, okay, so censorship is bigger than just political. Like I said, like, this was a sticker creator, and it's like she's banned on a platform where that's all she was doing was making stickers. And because she posted something else and they didn't
Madness.
like that, like, goodbye. And it's like, this is stickers.
Yeah, yeah. That is like, hey, man, this is yeah. These are
And the
stickers.
other thing to take away is like, it can happen to them, it can happen to you, right?
Correct.
And kind of what we're talking about is like just being prepared and like taking some precautions and doing what you can to also protect yourself and your brand and your business and your content and all of those things as well.
Yeah, if it can seep into the sticker community, no one's safe.
It can seep in any, yeah.
No one's safe. But seriously, it's like, yeah, man, it's driving apart the sticker people. Like, you are not safe if you think you are. You're an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but we've gone over 45 minutes. We've gone 53 minutes. So
I
I
do
will,
have to get
no,
going.
we'll wrap it up. It's 2 o'clock. But Vivian, thank you so much for coming on, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Tommy.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
happy to know about that. I don't know how, when, or how, but I know I will cite this in a future episode. The sticker community. I'll be like, I know this girl who's in a sticker community. Do you know what bullet journalism is? I will absolutely come up in a future topic.
I'll
So
send you some links for some of my favorite. I don't have any sticker creators on Rumble. I'm trying to bring some over, but I do have some favorites from YouTube, and I have like the bullet journal book. I'll send you some information so you have it and you
You
can share
can
it with
you
your
can use my
following.
podcast as a
If
bargaining.
anybody cares.
No, I do. No, no. You can use me as a bargaining token. Be like, I'll get you on a podcast if you want to talk about stickers. I'll do it. I don't care.
We'll talk about stickers. I could talk about planning all day.
Dude, I will. I clinically have OCD. Not like, oh, I'm OCD. I mean, like, had to go to therapy because they were like, it's
Ugh.
ruining your life. Yeah, no, I'm with you. No, planning is a very sincere thing in me. But let's wrap it up. And
Yeah.
Vivian, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This
Of
was so
course,
fun.
of course, guys. Thank you for watching. Please go in the description. Please join the locals. For everyone that sees the
Join us
comment that
locals.
yes, everyone that sees the comment pinned on every episode, join the locals. This is the face. This is the face of it. Join the locals. Thank you, Vivian. All right, guys. Thank you
Thanks,
so much for
Tommy.
watching. God bless everybody. Much love. Peace.